What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Episode 4 of the Last Man Standing podcast. I'm your host, Danny De Niro. Joined with me today,
Coco.
And we're back to give you guys the updates and the know-all in the football world.
So, Thursday night football.
Shit show.
You know what? I feel like I was a little more impressed with this game. I definitely didn't expect it to score as high as it did. Because what was it, like 65 total points?
That was a lot of points, yeah.
That was a lot of points. So, I mean, congrats if you had the over on that. I'm sure you were chilling fairly early on. And I know I said I like Bengals to win. I mean, I was a little more hopeful. Like I said, if you know me, you know I love my dogs. But that spread definitely covered. It was a nail biter where it came down to half a point, and in the betting industry, you hate that fucking half a point. That's literally why you buy points. Of course, it changes your payout, but that's why you buy it, for just that safety net. So shout out to the Bengals. Like I said, not a fan, but at least they covered that spread. That's definitely what we're all here for, to make that money. So Thursday night wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I'm just glad I last minute decided I wasn't going to use Browns for my last man standing. I was like, I really felt like they were going to win, but then I was like,
It's the Thursday. It's the Thursday night.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm going to have to find a name for it, but Thursday night football.
And that's why I just left it alone. Because I like the Browns, and they did win, and they basically should have covered the spread, but then look what happened.
But like it's that half a point. Like even in basketball, how many times you get fucked over for a bucket? Like it's just like that one. Nope.
That's what it always comes down to.
So I might like Thursday night football, but I really don't like betting on it, just because I feel like if something's gonna fuck me over, it's gonna be that shit. So, nope. Thursday night football just breaks up the week, kind of. It's like, all right, gives you that little bit of calm the fuck down, gets you through Friday, especially if it's not a payday Friday. If you work weekends like me, today's my actual Friday, so I look forward to Sunday, my chill day. Football's on. I feel like football is on. There's a lot of 10 o'clock games tomorrow. I mean, there normally is, but it's like, I feel like they're broken up in sections where there's like a couple 1 o'clock games, maybe 3 or 5. I feel like there's a majority of it is 10 o'clock, and there's literally 3 1 o'clock games and 1 5 p.m. game. And it's like, oh shit. So 10 a.m. is just about to be cracking. Yep. So put your picks in. Man, even early this morning at freaking Westgate, it was popping an hour before, I'll say an hour before 10 a.m. The line was already looking outrageous. I was like, dang.
Don't any of you guys got the app?
Right. I'm like, that is probably the best investment you could probably do, is invest in the app. You can definitely catch some in plays as well, for any of the apps, honestly. And you just have more control of your plays. So, I mean, of course, I like the physical ticket. I don't know why. It's kind of like a little more sentimental when you have your physical tickets.
When you win, you can be like, I won.
Yeah, but then again, you gotta go wait in that long ass line to cash that shit out. So then, bittersweet.
Right, and then don't let it be a big ticket and the books is closed, and you gotta go to the cashier and
even
talk
then,
about,
I think cashiers take forever.
Yeah,
or
they're like,
they don't
oh,
cash
you know what,
it.
we can't cash it right now, or my favorite, oh, we don't have all that money to give out. It's like,
First of all, if
it's
you
a
was
whole
about
casino.
to pay out a slot that hit
yeah,
a couple racks, you finna pay that shit out.
exactly.
They're just lazy.
Yeah.
They don't, and I get it. It's kind of like, that's not my department. I totally understand it. There's probably a shit ton of paperwork behind that. So in the office world, I get that. But run me my money. This is a money industry. This is a money city alone. So, I mean, of course, if you're a sports bettor or any kind of just betting regardless, you know how that shit goes. But yeah, so Sunday football, I'm excited. So week 2, feel like we can get a little more stabilized, see what the teams are bringing.
All right, so let's start top of the order. Let's get down to what you guys are watching for other than Coco's beautiful face. Week 2 picks. All right. So for the Rams and the Eagles game, I feel like this is one of the biggest traps on the board. The simple fact that the Rams started as a 1-point favorite and now they're a 2-point dog is crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Like when I see lines that shift like that, I think to myself, what is it that Vegas
They
knows?
know that we don't know.
Yeah. So I like the Rams in that one. And that was my original choice before the line moved. So I'm just going to stick with my original choice. But a little part of me feels like the Eagles are going to win. So therefore, my pick is still going to be the Rams because that's what I stuck with. But because of the big line shift, I'm not going to play it. So if you ask me, who am I leaning towards? I'm leaning towards the Rams. But I'm not going to play it because you know what? With the way the line shifted, and if the Eagles win, I'm not even going to say I was surprised because some bullshit is always going on behind the scenes. I mean, they got like nobody healthy, but now they're favorites. Okay? If you say so, Vegas. And you said you got Eagles in that one too, right?
I am definitely taking the Eagles. They were my original pick. And same thing, I did watch the line move. So same thing, I'm just going to stick with what I originally, with my gut pretty much. For that, I definitely think Eagles are going to win. But yeah, I definitely feel like that spread is a thirst trap, and I'm not falling for it. So
I'm not falling for it either, and I'm thirsty.
He is very thirsty.
Anybody got a beverage? This next game, I feel like, is one of the biggest traps on the board, but in the other direction. I don't know why people are favoring Brady so hard right now. I mean, they just confirmed that Chris Godwin is not playing today. He's not playing. Mike Evans, you know he's coming off a hamstring injury. He was just injured last year from a hamstring injury to end the season. They just got spanked by the Saints. They could not get their rhythm in motion. They were not in sync. They could not score. They couldn't put up points like everybody was expecting Brady to do. But yet, here we are. They're 9-point favorites against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers, we're supposed to just pretend that they didn't just upgrade at quarterback. We're supposed to pretend that they don't have Christian McCaffrey. We're supposed to pretend that they didn't just pick up Robbie Anderson from the Jets. Alrighty, 9-point favorites. I'm going Carolina. Normally, you would never catch me fading Tom Brady, but you know what? This ain't New England Patriots Tom Brady. I'm fading his ass. You're going to have to come beat me by double digits. I'm on Panthers 9 on that one.
Oh, I got Panthers.
Okay. Do you agree with that assessment?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
All right.
Alone off of, like, the comments that, or, like, I don't know if it was a press conference or whatever with Brady where he was like, oh, I'm just trying to just trying to be a player. He said something. I was like,
He's like, look, he's the coach, I'm the player.
yo.
He's like, I'm not getting into it.
That's that. I just work here. That's that dead ass.
That's that Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I won't be fined.
Right. You know why I'm here? I'm just here so I won't be fined.
You know I'm here, boss. About that action.
I just work here.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, who is this? Are you Tom Brady? You sure?
Right.
So yeah, I'm taking the Panthers on that one. Definitely.
And the next game, I'm not really gonna touch base on this much. Me and her both agree on this one as well. You got Steelers against the Broncos. Give me the Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers.
I think they're gonna win by 10 points. Next game, we see a little differently on that one. Cowboys against the Falcons. Now, I feel like Cowboys should win this game. They really should. But with all the injuries they got right now in defense, and even though the Seahawks beat the shit out of the Falcons last week, Falcons still put up numbers. So, for the simple fact that that offense is clicking, I feel like that +4 is just such a trappy number. +4 might as well be +3.5. Like, it's just one of those numbers I just do not like. I don't like the possibility of winning by a field goal and losing. That's what the +4.5 screams out to me. Now, this Cowboys team, they definitely have the talent to where they should win this game by 10 points. But, you know what? I'm still not convinced by their new offense. Make me a believer. Until then, I'm in. Falcons, +4.5. And as a matter of fact, it's going to be one of my last man standing picks.
I like the Cowboys for this game. It's not going to be one of my last man standing picks. I don't know. I just feel like if someone's going to pull the okie doke on this one, it's going to be the Cowboys. So, I'm taking Cowboys.
All right. And next up on that list, it's not much for me to really dive into here. 49ers against the Jets. Give me the 49ers. -6.5. I like them to definitely win by a touchdown. Coming off that loss after just not just winning, but after just losing in the Super Bowl and then opening up the week 1 with a loss. I know they got a couple of key injuries. I know, Richard Sherman's out. I know, George Kittle, he's got the injury on the knee. I know he's out. But you know what? They got people to step in line for the defense. That 49ers defense is far better than the Jets defense. And as far as the offense goes, so they're missing their best offensive player. Okay. I give you that. But passing isn't their biggest offensive game. Running is. And last I checked, their running game is just fine. Now let's look at the Jets offense. You got Le'Veon Bell injured. Alrighty. Then you got Crowder that just went down. He put up big numbers last week in fantasy, but now he's injured. Like I said, give me the clock-burning, field-running 49ers. The Jets, they're just Fade City right now. Leave them alone. Unless you got them on like a 30-point teaser. All right, and this next one. Bills versus the Dolphins. At the start of the week, not going to lie to you, I was in on Bills. Then I had some time to think and reflect on it. And I said to myself, you know what? I don't really like the Bills. That 5, here we go again with that trap. The number's 5.5. If it would have been 2.5 or lower, I would have took the Bills. The simple fact that it's 5.5 just leaves way too much room open for the Dolphins to do like a backdoor cover. And I get it. Last week the Dolphins did lose by 10 to the Patriots. But look how bad they played. And they only lost by 10. So that means they could just play that bad and just a little bit better and possibly cover that 5.5. And don't forget, Josh Allen, since he's been on the Bills, they don't really cover on the road that much. I get it. There's no crowd participation, but I guess until proven otherwise, there's just something about him playing on the road that just kind of gives this guy the jitters. We'll have to see the game when it comes, but in the meantime, no. Now, do I think Bills will win? Yeah, I think they might win. I definitely lean towards them winning more than I do the Dolphins winning, but I lean towards the Dolphins covering a whole lot more than I do the Bills covering. That's my take on that one.
I definitely agree with the Dolphins covering. Dolphins and my Steelers are always going to be a little bit of a bias.
A pain in the ass.
Listen. Yeah, so pretty much same thing. I definitely agree. Dolphins are going to cover. Like I said, I have a little bit of a biased opinion. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
So, yeah, no, I definitely like the Dolphins to cover. I mean, I would like them to win flat out, but I definitely see them covering this as well. I'm not too much of a fan of the Bills, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. So, next game. We don't see eye to eye on this one. Colts versus the Vikings.
I don't like the Vikings right now, so fuck them.
I'm going to have to just go with the Vikings just based off what I've seen. I've seen the Vikings could show signs of some high-powered offense. Dalvin Cook can get off, and Adam Thielen can get off when they want to. The Colts, however, I don't know if it comes from used to being a Chargers fan, but the Colts, I just can't trust Phillip Rivers right now. He just looks bad out there. He made so many mistakes last week, and I'm just like, who knows? Maybe he'll get it together this week, but I don't like him enough to find out. At least not on my lean, not on my insight. So, give me the Vikings. I got them they're at plus 2.5 for the added insurance. I'm going on the record, Vikings plus 3, minus 120.
No, fuck the Vikings. I'm taking the Colts. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm Coco. I'm taking the Colts. Fade or follow, bitches. Now the next game we see eye to eye though.
Yes.
Packers versus the Lions.
Meow. I like the Packers.
This is one of those games, unfortunately, this is what's going to happen. Either the Packers are going to cover and win by 14 points or more, or this is going to be one of them bullshit-ass Packers games where, unfortunately, they win by field goal. Here's what it
I hope
is.
the Packers just dominate, and it's
They definitely have the ability to dominate. But, unfortunately, right. Packers is just one of those teams when they play the Lions. It's just one of those things where they're either going to beat the shit out of them or they're going to barely skate by.
That's what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards just the
So I'm
massacre.
hoping it's a massacre because Aaron Rodgers did look very sharp last week. I've been telling everybody I feel like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. You know, Green Bay did just draft a new quarterback. And that says a lot because Green Bay could have used other pieces. So for the simple fact that they drafted a quarterback, it's like a way of saying, don't fuck up. Got your replacement right here.
And you gonna train him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We don't see eye to eye on this next one. Bears against the Giants. You know what? Bears still have one of the top 5 defenses in the league. And you know what? I was very, very impressed with Mitchell Trubisky last week. I feel like that was some of the best passes that he's thrown in quite some time. Like, I mean, he had some dots. He had some dots that he was throwing. Now, the 5.5 is a trap number to me. It is a trap number. And the only reason I didn't take the Giants in this because of that trap number is for how trapped the Giants were last week by the Steelers. That offense looked horrendous. If I remember correctly, Saquon Barkley maybe had a couple of yards running. So, I'm like, I get it. The Steelers' defense is legit, but the Bears' defense has always been legit. So, if Trubisky's going to be playing like that, and Eli Manning's successor, Daniel Jones, Mr. Damn Daniel himself, if he's going to be running an offense like that, I got no choice but to go with the Bears, especially with the Bears being at home. So
on
Saquon you trust?
No. So I'm taking the Giants on this one, mainly because if you've followed things I've said, I account for the fuck shit. So I feel like I'm leaning towards the Giants because if there could be a game, like everything you just said, it sounds great, looks great, but we've had those games where it's like you should have covered, you should have won, you shoulda. So I'm writing this one off as a fuck shit game, so that's why I took the Giants. I could be wrong. I'm not touching it for one of my last man standing picks for that reason, but that's kind of why I took the Giants on this one.
All right. Then just move on to the next one. The Tennessee Titans versus the Jaguars. I feel like, I know I started episode 2 talking hella shit about Gostkowski. Kicking is for losers, and he's a loser. All that bullshit. But I feel like he's had a good 10 days to practice on that damn kick. Because they played last Thursday. So skip that Sunday into this Sunday. That's almost 10 days. He's had plenty of time to perfect his craft. You know why he makes $1 million and all that kind of stuff? You know. Yeah. So, had he made his kicks last week, what is it? They won by, 2 points? And he left 10 points on the board, so that's 12 points. I feel like they can easily put up 10 points against this Jaguars team. Jaguars good at a lot of their pieces. Titans is going to make it hard for them to catch up because Titans are going to be brain clogged. They got that big-ass moose of a football player, Derrick Henry. He's like a tall Marshawn Lynch in his prime. So, yeah, it's going to be hard to take that guy down. And he's just going to be burning clock all day. Now, one thing that does shock me, though, is because I'm looking at the spread on the last man standing. And I was going to take this pick for the last man standing, but you know what? I will not be taking this pick for the simple fact that on the last man standing, it's minus 8.5. And the spread is already down to 7. Yeah, I can't see myself taking a favorite where I don't have the edge as far as the value of the line. I'm not going to pay more to play you. I'll find something else to play. And that's what I always recommend to you guys. I mean, I get it. You're thirsty for action. There's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games that day. I get it. 14 games. Oh my God, I've waited all week for football. It's okay. You don't need to play all 14 games to win. Sometimes if you run across a game and the numbers just aren't right for you, or it just doesn't make sense, don't try and make it make sense. Take that money that you was going to put on a game and gamble and just put it right back in your pocket and save it for a game you feel more confident in. One thing you're going to learn with the sports betting is the term go with your gut. Sometimes it's best to go with your gut because you can actually outthink yourself. You can overthink a play. And there's nothing worse than overthinking a play and then it goes the other way. And then you're just thinking, well, damn, that's originally what I wanted to do. But you know what? I sat on it for too long. Just a little golden nugget. All right. Now, Cardinals versus the Washington football team. Shout out one of the subscribers. He said I shouldn't call it the football team. I should call it the other name.
The original name?
Yeah. I'm like, what do you
I feel like this is worse. I mean...
Well, speak on it. Why do you feel like Washington football team is worse?
Well, I'm like, they didn't even come up with something else. I feel like this is like, insert logo here type shit. Like, damn, y'all didn't even... All this time... I understand, like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm being insensitive about it, like, for people who are truly offended by it, but honestly, all of that is, like, the world and society we live in, where it's, like, everyone is so just, like, offended by any little thing. Like, that shit has been around for so long. So, okay, you want it down? Okay, well, what are we going to call this team? It's like, and especially because we had all this time during coronavirus, like, every time I see that, it's, I don't know, I just feel like they did them dirty. Like, okay, we made these people happy and took the name away for the insults and etc. But this whole time, they didn't come up with a name. I don't know, I don't get it. I would be so upset if I was a fan. Like, who you go for? I go for the Washington football team. What? Like I don't know.
It's like, which one's that? Washington State?
Right. Or they had all that time, like, to prep, and especially because right now, like, we didn't even think football was coming back. So if there was any time to pull a rabbit out the hat, a miracle, like, hey, what do you guys think of this name? Something. It should have been done. And I just feel so terrible. Like, I feel so bad for their fans because it's just like, you know, of course, if you're a diehard, you're going to rock with it regardless. But every time I see that, I'm just like, oh, jeez. Like, I don't know. I feel like, what's that movie? The Replacements?
The Replacements.
The football
Keanu Reeves?
Yes, I feel like this is how they doing them right now. Like, this is, until then, this is the replacement name. I'm sorry. I just ran over. But anyways, I'm still taking them. I'm just not a fan of how they did them. And I'm not even a fan of this team.
Right. I got you. I got you. Oh, man. So, those are a few games that we didn't agree on, but we agree on these last few. Ravens versus the Texans.
Ravens. I don't even like the Ravens either, but I'm definitely taking them.
I think this game is going to be a lot closer than the Chiefs one was. Now, I get it. Texans, somewhat made a comeback, but they lost by 2 touchdowns. I feel like the Ravens game is going to end the same way. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns. But I feel like it's going to be more competitive throughout the game. Whereas the Chiefs, they just dominated like right off the rip and then just spent the rest of the game just trying to catch up with garbage time points. I think Ravens and Texans are going to go back and forth for a little bit. And then towards the fourth quarter, I think that's when the Ravens are just going to take off. And they're going to cover that 6.5. Some places it is a 7. I'm actually going to play that 7 on my super contest. So hopefully they win by more than 7 so I don't get a push. But, a push is still half a point. So if I go 4 wins and a push, I'll be all right. I'll live with 4.5. Next game, forget about it. Chiefs versus Chargers.
Chiefs about to tap that ass.
Let's go back to what I said about Phillip Rivers. He's not on the Chargers, but he's more of a quarterback than who they got right now. Tyrod Taylor was out there looking suspect. Capital A, capital F. Chiefs are going to blow past this minus 8.5. Chiefs is setting up better for the okie doke. They're going to blow out these first few games, and then they're just going to fizzle out and all of a sudden barely win a couple games. And people are going to be taking these 10-point spreads. But don't worry. This week, you're good to go. Take the Chiefs. Just, what's that little gif? Shut up and take my money. Let Chiefs take your money and then give it back to you. Looks like they'll be taking it at about 1:25 Pacific. You should be getting that back about 5 p.m. Pacific time. Next game. Seahawks versus the Patriots. This just reminds me of the last game. The last game they played, I specifically said, Seahawks versus Falcons, this line makes no sense. Why are the Seahawks basically a pick against the Falcons? And then what happened? End of week 1. Week 1 came. Seahawks beat the Falcons by like damn near 2 touchdowns. And now we got Seahawks versus the Patriots at a minus 3.5. Really? So we're going to give Cam Newton plus 4.5 against Seahawks. This just goes back to that conversation I had about the seasoned team versus the less seasoned team. Seahawks is clicking on all cylinders. Let Russ cook. That's why they came up with that hashtag. Let Russ cook. I mean, Bill Belichick said it himself. Russell Wilson is like the greatest player in the league right now. There's nothing that Russell Wilson can't do. I think Russell Wilson can control this game and take over this game and win it damn near by himself. So, with that being said, I'm all over the minus 3.5. I think Seahawks are going to win by a touchdown or more. It's not going to be a 3 or 4 point win. It's going to be a whole touchdown or more. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 10 or 14. And in the Monday night game, I liked what I seen from the Raiders. This is going to be their first home game. Saints have confirmed that Michael Thomas will not be playing this weekend. Remember, he did suffer that high ankle sprain. They still do have Alvin Kamara, and they still do have Drew Brees. But you know what? Brees just didn't look that sharp. Without Michael Thomas out there, he looked like he didn't have a real, what's the word I'm looking for? A reliable colleague. So, on that one, we're also on the same page. I'm going to take the Raiders on that. They showed me that they had a little fight in them. The offense looked good. They're at home. And who doesn't love a good home dog? Plus 5.5 for the home team. Let's go. Who knows? Maybe this is Raiders' year. I mean, that's what she said. Just wanted to... Maybe they make the Super Bowl and do what Vegas Knights couldn't do. Pow, pow, pow.
I agree. I'm definitely with the Raiders. I mean, I'm hopeful. I mean, we didn't build that fucking stadium for nothing. Y'all better get to it. Come on. So, yeah, no, I'm definitely messing with the Raiders this Monday night. It's going to be a good week, too.
All right, guys. Well, wish us luck on the Last Man Standing, the Super Contest. Because if we win, you'll win. You know, maybe we'll give like a little giveaway for like a random subscriber. You know, like a little raffle or something. You know, maybe like a I don't know, a Groupon to Cowabunga Bay next year.
If they live in Vegas, you gotta come.
If you live in Vegas, otherwise we'll give you a $20 gift card to Cinnabon or some shit. Dang, that's messed up, D. You want $1 million? You're gonna give me a $20 gift card?
Right. That's funny.
Unfortunately, nobody will be winning $1 million this year. COVID done messed up everything, so we all out here poor. Most we can do out here is 6 figures. You know, so that unfortunately that's not enough to retire. All that is see you next year for the next tournament.
Right.
But all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about the videos. Subscribe. You know, pass it off to anybody you know that's into sports betting. Anybody that likes sports. Anybody that likes looking at white girls. Anybody that likes black guys. Whatever. We can get a swirl going.
Bye, guys. Isn't this in the replacements? Yes. Yes.
You like that circle back?
It's like, I like that movie though, so I just feel bad for that team.
Then they have like then they have that black dude from the 7-Up commercials, Orlando Jones or something like that, where he had like wasn't he in like the telephone commercials too? He was in the 7-Up.
I'd have to see him. I'm bad with names.
Yeah, like the black guy with the big bug eyes. Okay.
I'd have to see him, y'all. Sorry.
Hey! Come on. Hey! Hey!
Get out.
See you guys in a few days.